That's fine, I will. Probably should go ahead and do the other order too while we're here. Or unless you just want to keep doing split feeds. Maybe. I don't know. Almost. Yep, that comes up. It's not super critical how you do it, but you'll get it. All right. Hope you guys are having a great day. We are, kind of slacking a little today. Nothing crazy. Just trying to get some stuff accomplished. Yep, we sure are. Super helpful. So, it's a little choppy, but it's doing all right. So. Yep. 1, 2. Yeah, yeah. That's fine. You said it. You put it wherever you want it. I don't care.
Did you put the
tape up here?
How do I wrap it with the tape coming off of it?
So I wrap at least 2 wraps of just the fuzzy around here, and then I wrap that around the back after I wrap 2 wraps, just to make sure it don't.
Wrap,
just
and then flip it up like that.
Kind of like that. Very, very close. Let me show you real quick. So I just let it sit to the side. I let it sit to the side over here. I wrap that way, and then flow it to the back, rather than wrapping it sideways. It doesn't matter, though. Nobody ever is going to see that. All right.
This way? Not this way?
Doesn't matter.
Is that what you were saying?
Well, all I'm saying is I just kick it out to the side and wrap it twice, and then I wrap it over it. Because I like wrapping it this way. That's just my preference.
I don't like wrapping it.
That's the conversation for later.
I like building the boxes.
That's cool. Okay.
Don't hate this because I can just center pull it.
Not the worst. It can rip if you're not careful, but it's good. All right, so let's get some stuff done, guys.
Inventory everywhere.
Yeah, we'll sort it. We're getting there. We're not there yet, but we're. Yeah. I hear it. I heard it loud and clear.
That emphasis.
Yeah. We have a partially willing participant over here, so we're gonna get it a little bit tonight, not too much though. All right. So today, what's up, Tony? Waving a hand. 105, waving a hand. Hope you're doing well. Hello over there on TikTok land. Hope y'all are doing well too.
I don't think I did a good job.
I think it'll be okay. I don't think he's gonna complain about your.
It's a little ugly.
It's all right.
Why is it?
It doesn't matter. As long as you got 2 wraps before you hit the little slug, it don't matter. That's all right. When you put it in the box, as long as it fits in the box, we're good.
I could win a present wrapping championship.
Yeah?
I can't wrap anything in this shop.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna level up your skills to like 0 to 100. We're gonna bring some wrapping paper out here.
Can I wrap the packages?
Yeah, then you can. I don't know. I'm sure they'd tear it to pieces if you go.
Can we do holiday shipping?
I think you would have to have holiday stickers. I don't think you'd be able to have holiday actual like wrap. I guarantee you they'd destroy it before it got to the customer. Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
Did we put bubbles in the bottom or just the top?
Just the top.
Damage.
I did put a sticker in the bottom though.
Oh, I need a business card.
I think we are very low, if not out. There may be some in that
How'd you
suitcase.
We ordered like 1 million of
500. We did not order that many. The only, if we have any, they're in that suitcase.
Why is your nice suitcase?
Because I planned on packing it, or unpacking it at some point, and I never did. Hey, thanks for the follow, Dawson. Thank you, thank you. If you guys are liking the video, definitely feel free to tap the screen. We got our TikTok shop all set up. I'm going to mention that about 15 times today because TikTok is getting mad at me for some reason because I'm not, I guess, not mentioning it enough. Who knows? But yeah, needless to say, got a TikTok shop. I got the these digital bird movements on the TikTok shop, and I also got the full digital bird 43s on the TikTok shop now. And I've got some velocity factor coax like I'm building right here. That's also on the shop. So if you guys want anything like that, it's free shipping and everything's included. So you can buy it off the shop. Again, mentioning that because they've been getting mad at me lately for some reason. I don't know why. They think I'm trying to sell outside of them. I'm like, that's the whole point of making the shop, so I don't have to. But I don't really have to sell on this stuff at all. But I'm mentioning that simply because it keeps telling me that I'm trying to sell you guys stuff. I'm just working. I've got to do these orders anyway. But it is what it is. I'm just trying to check and figure out how to get it to go together. So,
Worry about your own bench.
we'll see how it goes. I don't think you'll have much trouble. It'll be all right. All right. Hey, Billy, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you, man. If you guys are liking these videos and you guys would like to see how the stuff is done, feel free to, like I said, follow me or like the video, and maybe you'll see some more like it. I'm going to have to... Yeah, it's up here. There you go.
This one needs to go to work. It needs to not be here. That one needs to go elsewhere.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. That's one thing I don't do. All right, so... Yep, it smells like it every time. Hello from Portsmouth, UK. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well from the UK. I'm going to try to click this thing real quick and get you guys zoomed in for a second. Give me just a moment. Hey, thanks for the good work. I appreciate the accolades there. So hopefully this doesn't mess up too much. I'm going to... Ship packages? I probably should have started a map somewhere. Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. So I can't figure out how to zoom. This is a little bitty, what do you call it? Webcam thing? Yeah, I can't fix it right now because it won't let me open the app. So it is what it is. I can't turn my lights off, guys. So currently what we're doing is we're building some RG-400. And
I forgot his little baggie.
cut the side of it and stick it in there. Right there. Just open it right there and throw it in there.
Stuff it in.
Yep, just be careful. Don't make it too wide. And then throw a piece of tape over it too, because it could fall out if you don't. Alright, let's tape this bugger up. Silas, hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. And yeah, like I said, it's very cool to see Portsmouth in here. I think y'all are... I figured up the math. I think y'all are 5 hours ahead. Is that not correct? Is it around 5:30 over there, or is it 6:30? Hey, Wayner. I appreciate you, Wayner, dude. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Hope you are enjoying the video. I'm going to show you guys how to solder here in just a second. So what we're going to do is, we don't have it made yet. You can just probably do the split feeds and it'll be fine. The other one, it could be done, but I'll have to do some testing on it before it's done. It would be a cool thing to do in the video too, but It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be done. Cool.
That's
Do you have a little tail of tape sitting somewhere? I thought I seen some of it. Chop it. Not that it matters, but choppy choppy. There you go. Skeezers. 5:30 a.m. Cool. Hey, that was a good guess. So now I know it's about 5 hours ahead in UK time. I know we had Slovakia hopped in here.
5:30 a.m. watching you solder.
They're getting ready for work. Some people are early birds, unlike me. I think.
I did a good job.
Yes, you did. Thank you. So the goal is to add as much heat as possible on the source and to add solder to the source itself, not to just tap, tap, tap. That's not your goal. That would be incorrect. So, clean our rosin core off. Let's do just a bit of tidying, just because I can. There is a small little extra piece. There we go. Remove that real quick. You can see a small inclusion in here. So what we'll do is just add a little bit more heat and then just bond it on out. I'm being a little impatient, trying to blow on that some. All right, so now center conductor is done. So I don't know if you guys will get to see that or not, but we will kind of look and see. This autofocus is pretty good, but you can see how it's done. I gotta remember how to hold this thing. Rotate, you can see how it looks. All right, back to work. Hey, thanks for the follow, Toctic, and so I've got to get my phonetic alphabet back down. I'm doing pretty poorly, so I need to practice on that a bit. So it is India. What is it? Dang it! I got to figure out U. India U. What the heck is U? I got Foxtrot. I'm having trouble with U for some reason. All right, anybody help me with my phonetic alphabet? U, the letter U. I don't know how I'm having trouble with that. It would be, It's late, guys. Sorry, I'm not thinking. So we want to preheat this right here. Heat it up till it pulls in. Somebody's going to help me in just a moment. I will say umbrella for now. India umbrella 8. Uniform. There we go. Uniform Tango, so on and so forth. India uniform Romeo. What is it? What's Y again? Help me with that one. Yankee. I gotta remember Yankee. Yankee is obvious. And no, it's fine. Yankee and then Q. Well, help me with Q again. I don't have to remember that one. Quebec. All right, I need a tank of propane real quick. I have just ran out. Hopefully this is not empty. Worst case scenario, I have a backup plan, but I'm out of propane. This one might be empty also. I use these things quite often. They work pretty well. So this is my tank. It could be used for ham radio. It's used a lot for, I think I've got orders that's out for, I did one for an airport. I did several for some HF guys, did several for some free band guys, did several for some CB dudes. So that's actually still got some in it. This one, I believe, is already empty, so we'll get back to work. But yeah, this coax is traditionally used in aeronautics and aerospace. So it is a bit overkill for even HF use or for just regular like 11 meter use and stuff like that. But it's something I sell quite a bit of, and it's a pretty cool cable. It does a good job. It's got the thermal temperature rating is 500 degrees on the top end, and I forgot what the low end is. I think it's well below zero. I think it's 60 below or so. So it's very, very high temperature range that it can handle. The friction coefficient is extremely low, so that means it's very, very, very slippery, so it won't get caught up on connections. The expansion and contraction of the cabins of a lot of the airframes, it makes a lot of sense for it to be able to slide back and forth as you're gaining and dropping in altitude. The temperature change, it's a lot of times I think it's 60 below zero or so, maybe even a little lower whenever you're up at 30,000 foot. So makes a lot of sense for this to work in communications where other cables would break down a lot quicker. Brandon, thanks for the follow. Thank you very much. I would love to be able to tell people on uniform. Thank you very much, Robert. It's late, and my phonetic alphabet's doing kind of poorly right now. So it also has, for its given size, pretty good attenuation numbers. There's some other cable that would be a little bit better, but for its degree of flexibility, it's very good cable. Because it's extremely flexible too at the same time. So, all right, you can see what I did. We just terminated this whole connection properly on a UHF connector. I can put a lot of different connectors on these. We can go for SMA, we can go for N-type, we can do all kinds of different stuff. Passat 76, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you very much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go on to the next one, and we're just going to go ahead and get a bunch of these started up. So no matter what, I have to have at least one end on a lot of these connectors. So let's just let's make a lot of this stuff happen. So we will continue doing this. We'll talk about it. You guys can ask questions. We can say all kinds of stuff. So it's a bit of a late start for me, but I kind of like late starts sometimes because I get other people that get to watch my videos instead of like a lot of the guys in the States in my same time zone. I'll get a lot of Europe and stuff whenever I'm doing stuff late in the evening times, so it's very neat. Now, of course, there's plenty of guys in the States that's super nice and cool to be able to talk to and stuff, but it's just pretty interesting seeing the reach. Eh? What, you cut through or something? Did you cut through it or something?
A little bit.
Just split it and see how many strands you drop. If you drop a lot, then just drop back 5 and punt, and here you go. So, let's get back to work. So this is a double braided jacket. So it's silver plated copper, the jacket that it runs. The outer conductor, the outer jacket is a FEP, with fluorinated ethylene propylene. The dielectric is polytetrafluoroethylene, which is just PTFE or Teflon. The center conductor is a stranded silver-plated copper. Excuse the cough of still trying to get over pneumonia. It was a sucky a poor situation. How to dip cable. What question would you have with that? Explain what you're saying. Are you trying to how to null a cable, or how to make a coax invisible, or how to dip it down the ground and like you would on a dance floor? No. What kind of? If you ask a little bit, if you rephrase your question, I might be able to answer. I'm not sure. So what I do on these is I actually do velocity factor cuts on a lot of these coaxes. So if you're wanting to get it cut to where the coax is not part of the equation, then I can do that. I made a mistake here, not a big mistake, just a mistake. I've got a zip tie on here, so I'm going to cut the zip tie real quick, and I'm going to throw my reducer and my body on the other side. I like to do a bit of prep work beforehand whenever I'm doing this stuff. So I like to put a lot of ends on so I don't make this mistake, especially if I get in like a rush trying to get a lot of stuff accomplished. It's just stuff that can happen. This is 50 ohm cable. Yes, it's RG-400. Correct. Also, short box Ford. Yep, that is correct. More questions, you guys. Feel free to ask. That's encouraged, for sure. The more you ask, the more I can talk about, the more I can explain this stuff to you guys. And that does not hurt my feelings at all. It makes the day go faster for me. All right, so what I'm going to do is literally just go ahead and run this shield all the way on around. I'm going to try not to mess around and mess up my braid. All right, so there's two things I'm going to do right here. One, I'm going to set it up where it doesn't fall into the braid, even though I'm about to do this connection here momentarily. And two, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild my little wrap on this thing so it sits right. So, not that it has to be done, it's just how I do. This is just how I work. I'm getting ready to install my first mobile ham. Is it worth trimming my own cable? Are you operating on mono-banded operation? Are you going to do a multi-banded? So that would be the first question I would have. So if it's mono-banded or multi-banded. If you can answer that, we can move on to the next part of the answer. 2 meter and 70 centimeter. That's fine. No, it's not beneficial. Unless you're doing a mono-banded application, there's no benefit. If you're doing multi-banded, you'll want to have like some sort of tuner in line, or realistically for 2 meter and 70 centimeter, for some of the equipment that they run, it's not really that critical. It's really when you start adding in transmitter or amplifier and things like that. HF up to 500 watts, no problem whatsoever. This stuff is rated at 2,000 watts or 1,900 watts average, even though I would never run it that high at HF frequency, all the way up to 30 meg. So, very, very good cable. All right, so now, whenever I go to throw this on right here, what I'm going to do is cut this other zip tie so that I can run my reducer up. So I'm going to chop this thing off right here, the one I just put in line just a moment ago, and then I run my reducer up right here. Got your ham license a month ago, finally getting some gear, and I appreciate the advice. No problem. If you have more detailed questions, we can kind of get into the caveats, the benefits, and the pros and cons of doing so. So the thing you're fighting whenever you're building what's called a velocity factor cut is you're fighting something called common mode current. So common mode current is whenever a coax no longer acts as a feed line only and turns into part of the tuned antenna system. So typically that happens when you don't have what's called proper counterpoise, you don't have a good balun, or you just have some sort of impedance mismatch. Those are a couple different scenarios where having a velocity factor will come in handy to help mitigate that. So when you have common mode current, what happens, I guess I could explain it after picking some of these off real quick.
The L stands aren't strong enough.
It's all right. That one was difficult for me.
We'll get the braids into them.
I won't know until you won't know until you start pulling the braid back.
I could see orange on them.
Orange is fine. White is not good. Orange is just the exterior jacket. All right, give me just a moment and I'll explain some more. 369 Soundwave, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So good for between transceiver and tuner, amp tuner. Not yet. No, it's still not a good thing for that one yet. I really need another pick because I need to use that one. Check that top drawer, please, if you don't mind. That or with the top drawer on the right, actually. That one's the one that's going to have it, probably. All right, let me try to get this off. This is difficult. I cannot.
I told you. You just have to do the right amount of pressure.
I mean, it is, but this specific one is just extra pain in the neck to get it off. Okay, jeez, that one might not work. We'll see. If you lose a lot of strands, then just ditch it. It's fine. All right, give me just a second. Let's get into this explanation a little bit further so we can explain what common mode current is so you guys can understand it. The more you understand, the less likely you are to get bamboozled by somebody just throwing a bunch of BS with you at you, or some false information. Let's say it that way, rather than use crude terminology. Let's try to be a little bit more direct with our statements. Oh, no, just a little bit more enunciated, just better. There's better words to use. Let's just say it. So there are some people that would hold information and rather you stay confused, and that's not really my goal. My goal is for you to hopefully get educated and understand a little bit more about RF theory after some of my videos. That's the goal for me, at least, because the more you know, the more likely you are to want the right things. And I don't have to sell you on something. You understand where the benefits are on it. I've got about 6 more of these to pull. Give me just a second, because it's taking up a little bit of my brain power trying to figure out how to get these off without ripping them. I got to be careful when I'm pulling here. So this has got such a low friction coefficient that I have to, in order for me to strip back from that far away, I have to be careful not to go too deep, but also at the same time, I have to get a grip on it. Darn you. Sorry, I'm not having a whole lot of luck with this one. There we go. Lord. All right. 4 more after this one right here. That worked way better. I'm going to do that on all the other ones. So there's a specific technique when it comes to stripping these back this far. It's got a very low friction coefficient, but because of that low friction coefficient, it's super easy to screw it up. There we go. That worked out great. 2 more after this one. Goodness. All right, 1, 2. So I'm getting a lot of help right now, splitting all these braids back. Did you find another one? A pick? She found another pick. If you want it, I'm not going to eat it. I'll tell you now, I will not touch that again. That was a huge mistake. We, what do you call it? DoorDash, some Taco Bell. Ooh, do not. Like, jeez, that was awful. All right, so what line of business am I running there? Obviously, I can see you working with coax, interested to know what other things I do. So the name of my company is called D-Win's RF Supply. So I'm an RF supply company. Silver Bell Slicer, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Using 213 and the cables are a pain. Yes, they're definitely a lot larger. One time I did mess with taking coax apart. It was a pain in the butt. Yeah. Taco Bell causes RF. Yeah. Oh, Taco Bell. No. That is not a late night food. Don't do that. Oh, copper wire. I love me some copper wire. This stuff right here is actually silver-plated copper wire, so it's actually pretty cool. It's even fancier. All right. Let's talk about common mode current. Let's have this explanation real quick. I've got a bit of braid over here, so we'll use that as our explainer. It's not perfect by any means, but you see the braid that's right here. That's part of the shield. And you see the center conductor right here, which is part of this, the centerpiece of the coax. We have a dielectric, which is this Teflon right here, and we have an exterior jacket. So what normally happens is when signal travels through this, it travels through the center conductor right here on the exterior of the center conductor, and then it travels up and back down the interior of the shield. So there's a shielded body like this, and it travels down the interior of the shield and back up the exterior of the center conductor, and it goes back and forth, but how many ever cycles, whether you're on 3 million cycles or 3 billion or 5 billion cycles, where you're on like 5 gigahertz or 2 megahertz or 27 megahertz or 30 megahertz, doesn't matter. It just goes up that many cycles. Whenever coax does not do its intended operation, you'll have a balanced to unbalanced transition at the feed point, or you'll have some degree of mismatch in the system. And what happens is instead of actually using the counterpoise on the exterior of the antenna, because you have two pieces of antenna, you have a driven element and you have a counterpoise, whether that's done by ground plane or whether that's done by dipole or whether that's been done by any other design, no matter what it is, elevated feed point, all kinds of other setups. And then the counterpoise being below that. Whenever it doesn't function as intended, some of that RF, instead of going out the antenna the way it's supposed to, it travels back down the exterior of the shield and radiates off of that shield. It'll go up and down on that shield over and over and over again until it continues to radiate until it's done. It'll try to re-radiate out the feed point, but that's what happens. So in order to eliminate common mode current, the goal is to eliminate the reactance. Reactance is an imaginary portion of your antenna system. Between inductive and capacitive reactance, canceling those out creates resonance. To have a purely resistive load is to have an antenna that's nothing but resistance. There's no reactance in the system. Reactance is what can cause a lot of problems. If you're an electrical engineer and you've dealt with any sort of power line stuff, reactive power is a wasted amount of power. That's something that happens in your electrical lines too when you're running your long distribution lines. So they try to eliminate reactance also. So in order to create resonance, you have to cancel out your inductive and capacitive reactance. So ideally, if you're doing a proper match, considering just a purely resistive load, you want to have, say, if it's a 50 ohm system, you'd want a 50 ohm feed point impedance to a 50 ohm source impedance. So you'd want to have your line to load impedance, your line to load impedance mismatch would be nothing because it's 50 ohm to 50 ohm transition. What would be the best O-mod for a Connex 3400 HP? 400 is very good for jumpers. Very, very good for jumpers. I'm just talking about velocity factor in general. I'm not trying to discourage you from using RG-400. I'm just trying to make sure. Bought the double watt meter box from you. Still looking for a dual inline and plugs. I sell dual line sections. You can buy them off my website. And elements, I have a lot of elements. So if you wanted to get any of those, you can order anything as far as that goes. I've got a lot of HF elements for sure. Cree Panchalo, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. So, the benefit of doing what's called velocity factor on coax, if you're on a mono-banded application, if you are smart and you hit it at the right point, what you can do is it makes the coax invisible to the system. So when you put test equipment in line, whether it be an antenna tuner, whether it be a watt meter, whether it be a antenna analyzer, whatever you put in line at that exact point matches the feed point impedance. So if you ever was to check a like MFJ's manual, Rig Expert's manual, and things like that for your antenna analyzers, they recommend to check at the feed point. So sometimes people's feed point's 180 foot in the air. It might be 50 foot in the air. It might be 10 foot in the air. There's all sorts of different heights. But when you're talking about something that's 100 foot in the air, it's kind of difficult to get to. So if you build a coax with a velocity factor cut, what that allows you to do is to check with the coax in line, and the coax cannot, under any circumstance, become part of the tuned antenna system because it's at the zero crossing point. That's wonderful. Thank you. Because it's at the zero crossing point. So with it being at the zero crossing point, it now matches the impedance that you would see at the feed point. And that's kind of the goal. So if you have common mode current in your system, what happens when you have random coax links is it comes in as part of, it changes. It moves the actual SWR on the Smith chart because you've introduced some additional reactance to the system. So the impedance moves on the chart, so then you're tuning to a false reading. So here you are trying to modify your system, trying to get it all worked out, and you're chasing a rabbit. So on monobanded applications, it works out very beneficially to have a velocity factor coax, because then if you're checking with a bird meter, if you're checking with even a spectrum analyzer, if you're checking with test equipment, the phase angle matches. So at that point, whatever you're checking, whenever you're checking it, you can trust the measurement that you're getting. Otherwise, there's always a chance reactance could come into play. So you could replace the 213 with 400 for jumpers, but main from antenna is 213. Depends on the power handling. What kind of power handling, and again, what frequency? Tell me that one more time. And what kind of length would be the main feed line length also. I would give you some suggestions based off of that information. All right, so we're going to put this away, and we're going to get on to the next one. So I'm going to make a pile of completed ends. I don't know where the pile is going to be, but I'm going to just start making a pile. I swear I have another one that's done. I just finished. There it is, right there. There's that one. So we're just going to keep working on some ends. I got lots of ends to do, lots of pieces to put together. So we will just continue this process. We can continue to talk about like more of the technical aspect of things. As you guys have questions for me, we will try to get into them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that, whatever. 8 of those. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll be fine, something like that. I just need a little pile over here so I can work with it. HF, 100 to 500 watts. Again, what kind of length? Is it going to be a short length like in a mobile, or is it going to be used for like mounting it externally like in a tree? Is it for temporary use, or is it for a permanent installation? And then how high up in HF? Closer to 30 megahertz or lower down into 2 meg. So that would be a couple different questions for you. Sorry, lots of questions, but it's important to know these things to be able to give you a proper recommendation. Hey, I don't mind. The cool thing is, that's what I'm here for. I operate as an RF supply company, but I like making these videos because they're educational, they help people out, and then hopefully they will help people make informed decisions. I sell velocity factor coax on my website, but there's a very specific reason. I just went over the whole explanation for it. Timber, what's up? Thanks for the poke, man. That hurt. 160 to 10 meter. Okay, so if you're gonna use it from 160 to 10, okay, I see that on a tri-band. You're talking about, okay, so if you're gonna use it on a tri-band, 160 to 10, we're operating at 500 watts. RG-400 would not be your best solution. because you're talking about a longer lead length, you're talking about a higher amount of attenuation, especially when you get up into the 30 meg range. What I would suggest in that scenario is probably spend a little bit of money on something like 1/2 inch flex. The wire that I'm using has got a very, very high temperature rating. I'd have to look up the actual statement on it. Let me see. Let me see. I want to see what they call it. I want to make sure I'm saying it correct. RG-400. Coax cable. Coax jacket temperature. Negative 55 degrees Celsius up to 200 degrees Celsius for RF use. So that is the kind of range that this cable can handle. So it can handle over 500 degrees for a short period of time. Ideally 500 is what it's rated at. So with what I'm doing and how I'm connecting this, that's why I can actually put this kind of temperature on this. If you tried this with 213, you would damage 213. So I have built some 213 and some RG-400 and some RG-600. Not RG-400, and some LMR-400 and some LMR-600 on these videos, and I would not use the same build technique for those cables. But when I'm dealing with like RG-393, RG-303, RG-316, and a lot of those cables, I will build it this way. RG-213 would be better than RG-8. If I was to suggest a cable for HF use, 500 watts, it's a bit overkill for that application, but I like to go overkill whenever I'm building stuff. I would probably do something like 1/2 inch flex. 1/2 inch flex up to 100 foot. You can get it for $350 a foot. So you're looking at $350 for a 100-foot run. The connectors are $20 a piece, so you're looking at $40 there, and you're looking at $20 a piece to put the connectors together for you. So another $40 there. So a full harness is $340 plus another $40, so it is $380. No, actually no, $350. $350 plus $40 is $390. It's $430 for a completed harness on 1/2 inch flex. You'll be good for HF use up to 7,000 watts average, which is extreme overkill, but the attenuation is extremely good, and also it's got a very flexible cable too. The minimum bend radius on that goes all the way down to like, I think it's 4 inches or something like that. So that's kind of where the direction I would go. It's also rated as a direct bury jacket, the way the cable is set up. I've got some stuff I'll tell you about on this. Just make a pile. Huh? Make a pile. I'll show you what I want to do next when we get there. Just set up. Just make a pile of finished ones. Heat shrink, but I'll show you. Maybe solder. I don't know. We'll get into it. All right, but the attenuation is extremely low on 1/2 inch flex, and also every piece of Andrew cable is direct bury capable. So having a direct bury cable is really nice, because then you can actually just dig it in with a ditch witch or just dig a trench, and then you get to hide your cable at the same time as having low attenuation and not spending crazy amounts of money. The money you'll spend on RG-400 is about $3 a foot. So if you was to build a 100-foot cable of RG-400, it would cost very similar money, but the attenuation would be horrendous at that kind of length. It's good for jumpers, not good for main feed line. So the 239 connectors that I'm actually using, or PL259 connectors that I'm using right here, SO239 would be the female variant. The PL259 connectors I'm using here are a silver-plated brass. So that's another reason that allows me to put this kind of temperature on this without it failing or causing problems. The silver plating actually helps a lot and works pretty well. I've tried, take some time, but you get the hang of it. Always afraid to make cables because I don't want to melt the insulation. It's very, very easy to melt insulation, especially when you're using like a polyethylene center conductor like your RG-8X and your RG-213. So it's something to be careful of. 213 could probably handle a bit more than your RG-8X could. But yeah. For a UHF setup in your car GMRS use, I do 400 for car GMRS use. Just because it's simple, it's easy, it's got a very low friction coefficient. You can run it behind dash panels, you can run it behind hookups in the vehicle, and it's super, super convenient for that kind of application. So that is an application that's ideal for RG-400. Jumpers and things like that, RG-400 is also useful for that, again, because the low friction coefficient and the high degree of flexibility. So, it is not the be-all, end-all coax, but it is good for a very lot of applications. You know, I've got a list I need to write down. There's some stuff that I have kind of agreed to do, but I haven't signed up to do it, and it's not on my main list of orders. And I need to write it down at some point. I've got so much. I've got to get caught up. I got sick and was out for 4 days, which was or really 7 days, but I lost. I think it was 4 days of RF supply work. You asking me, Julius? I am in Georgia in the United States. I had the UK in here earlier. Working all day, fixing robots at the slaughterhouse, South Island of New Zealand. Very, very cool. Sorry I didn't respond till just now. I've seen that. It's very cool. All right, so just curious what line of business. We already talked about that. I'm an RF supply company, so anything to do with RF is what I do. That is my business. We got a bad message. I don't know what the bad message is. If we got some junk messages, let me know there, Timber. We can eliminate that. But yeah, where you out of, Julius? I'm kind of curious myself now. People asking. So far we've had New Zealand in here, and we've got the UK in here. Or we had, at least. I'm not sure if they're still around or not. Again, I'm going to mention it again because we're talking about building cables and things like that, and for some reason TikTok gets mad at me. I have a TikTok shop, so if anybody wants to get Velocity Factor RG-400, I sell them on the TikTok shop, and I also sell the bird meters on the TikTok shop and the bird meter movements, the digital ones, that is. The reason I'm doing that is so I don't get in trouble for trying to sell a product that I'm not trying to sell. So I'm going a step further and just mentioning it anyway. For the last probably 10 live videos that I've done, TikTok has gotten on to me for trying to sell outside of TikTok, which I'm not. I don't understand why, but I'm not. So I find that crazy. But needless to say, that's I'm just trying not to get this little automated system to mess with me. So, if you guys are liking the video, feel free to tap the screen. It is very helpful for me, and it suggests my videos to more people. I thank multiple of you for actually following already, so it's definitely appreciated for you guys to be able to see how that's connected and soldered all up. You can see all the holes and how it's set up right there. That is not focused for TikTok, but it is what it is. I can actually zoom in with you guys now that I think about it. It said some comments that was live filtered to protect this community's experience. That's typically, I think, the scam people. But there are some guys who just post scammy stuff, and I think TikTok automatically deletes the scam comments. Maybe. I don't really know, to be honest. I've never actually went in to look into that. What is my opinion of Messi and Poloni for ham use? My previous opinion of Messi and Poloni, not a current opinion. My previous opinion was I'm not very happy with Messi and Poloni. I've had some customers that ordered Messi and Poloni, they're Ultraflex. and within a very short period of time, it had already cracked on the internal dielectric in several places, especially where it was bending, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a coax that's supposed to be ultra flexible. What's up, Big Mike in Florida? Hope you're doing well, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, the well wishes. Yeah, it's definitely, I'm getting there. I'm still not able to do like big heavy duty work and stuff like that, but yeah, for sure. Hey man, I have a 955 and the same thing, the SR mag mount antenna and the A10 or whatever. Yeah, a 955 and SR A10 is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I sell 3/8 hardline if you want some, Doughboy. I am an RF supply company, so you can find that stuff through me. So if you specifically want 3/8 hardline, that's something I can sell you. All right, so you will have to message me on here, and we can kind of go from there. Do I have any other that is not suggestions on what you should do next? Yeah, it's not super popular, but I actually was doing some, there's some 5/8 hardline that I can get that is extremely rare. And then I can get 3/8 hardline, which is not nearly, is also kind of rare. But I've got a pretty decent amount of 3/8 hardline I can get and order. You're not going to save like a ton of money ordering it because it's a unique kind of cable. Like a lot of times when you get more common cables, you can kind of get a little bit better pricing and stuff. But it is something I carry, and I'd have to double check my price on it, but I can let you know. If you sent me a message, then I can get it. I'm not sure exactly. Any particular reason you're looking for that specific cable? Is it just something you've had in the past that worked well for you, or is it something you've been suggested, or does it just fit your application? Just kind of curious, to be honest. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, Adam, David. Thank you. I didn't know what are bird watt meters worth with slugs. That's a loaded question. I have an RF supply company, so I supply RF components. Obviously, whenever I'm buying birds, I'm buying them for less than what I would sell them for. So typically, I'll sell a completed bird if it's operational and working and doing everything it's supposed to do. The movement is proper and everything else. I'll typically sell it for around $350. That is a verified, working, accurate, and operational meter. If it's not verified, working, accurate, and operational, there are considered caveats that you kind of have to pull out and say, hey, well, there's a chance it could be bad, and you have to account for that. So you have to give somebody some sort of a discount to kind of purchase from you rather than purchase from somebody who's got it figured out or who's already got it tested, that is. So $350 is kind of like your max price if it was in perfect shape, doing a good job, and not really old or anything like that, and it was verified to be accurate. But being untested, you would go somewhere underneath that number. If you're reasonable enough on cost, I buy stuff like that because I'll turn around, certify it, and send it out the door, make sure it's accurate. I've got a little, unfortunately, I've got a little mini graveyard of bird movements that did not pass the test. But that's kind of what happens. That's the risk I take when I buy stuff, so I have that in consideration when I'm buying stuff. But yeah, I will buy used parts and stuff like that. If you wanted to try to get your best retail cost, I mean, you can throw it out there on eBay and stuff and see what happens. Sometimes you can get some pretty decent numbers out of stuff. Probably one of the better places, I guess, but sometimes at the same time it won't sell at all. All right. Do I have any suggestions on what you should do next for your setup? I'd have to know a little bit more about your setup, Julius. Not to be disrespectful, but I did read some comments and I try to respond as I see them. But whenever I'm responding to multiple people, I will get kind of lost on what somebody's setup is. Mag loops use hardline. Yes, they do. So you can build a mag loop, or you can build what's called a DD-RR antenna as a out of some hardline. So those are also things you can do. A mag loop is a full wave antenna, usually uses a quarter wave stub as a matching network. All right, so what are bird? Already said that. Did some. Wasn't too popular. Do you have any others? Not suggestions on what I should do. Best 3/8. Oh, a 955 and a Mag Mountain SRA10. Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a pretty good combo for somebody who's driving up and down the road, pilot car work, stuff like that. It's a good combo. Performs well and does a pretty good job. No, don't have to.
They don't have to point the same direction.
Not exactly. It would be better, but it's really not required. Wonderful. Yeah, it's just super time consuming, the whole thing. So,
It angles lets you go straight up one side
good to know.
instead of rotating it.
All right. We'll check you out. You deal only through TikTok. Also, do you ship to the UK? No, I'm going to say this very carefully because I'm going to get in trouble for it. So, if there were something called a .com bubble, forget about the whole idea of a bubble and realize that first statement. My business name is is how you find it. So it's literally just my business name, no quotations, no apostrophe, no dash, no nothing. Just my business name and the thing without the bubble. So I'm saying this a little bit more vague because I'm trying to see if I can not get in trouble over there. It's only one platform that I'd get in trouble with, but I'm not. I'm just trying to see if I can get away with it for a little bit. So, I can do something cool. Where's that little? Do you have any red ones over here at all? Do I have? I saw one in the house, but I didn't. Don't have one over here. Man, I was gonna show you something because I realized I can show one camera and not show the other camera, but I can't show you because I don't have any cards out here. But if you understood what I was saying with that, then give me a statement real quick that you kind of followed what I said over there. I know I'm speaking in like miniature code terms, but it's not super. Hopefully, it's not super complicated the way I explained it. But yeah, I ship to all over the world. It doesn't matter where. I've got a quote out right now for Malta. I've shipped to New Zealand. I've shipped to Australia. I can ship wherever. It doesn't matter. All right. I have to pass a puzzle on TikTok. Let's pass that puzzle. Oh no, that's not good. Dun, 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 pass the puzzle. What reg mag wire is that on the white spool? It is 12 gauge mag wire. Where the heck even is it? Where do you find my old mag wire? Oh yeah. So, yeah, some 12 gauge. I use it for plate chokes and things like that. So yeah. I got 12 gauge. I got all sorts of that stuff. I got mag wire. I've got Teflon wire. I've got bird meters. I've got tower sections. I've got tubes. I've got sockets. I've got Teflon rod, Teflon sheet. I've got some high voltage board. I've got I don't know. I got all kinds of stuff. If it has anything to do with RF or high voltage, then I probably have it. I am an RF supply company. I even have towers. I got towers at, of course, 1 5/8, all sorts of big coax, small stuff, all that stuff. Copy, help me clean the bench. I'm not quite sure. I would assume somewhere in the neighborhood of the $3 a foot mark on 3/8. Again, because it's more obscure and stuff like that. They don't really give a ton of discounts on it versus 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch I sell for $3.50 a foot. I would assume it'd be somewhere close to $3.50, maybe if we're lucky, closer to $3 a foot. But I will have to, if you send me a message on here, I will give you a quote. If you want just a wire, I can sell you just a wire. However you want it. It don't hurt my feelings. I'm a supply company. I will supply parts for everybody. At some point in time, we are going to be setting up the wholesale portion of the business, where I'm taking on more vendors. I have only a couple wholesale accounts right now. So we will get into that later. If you guys have any vendors and want to start ordering in higher volume, then I do offer quantity discounts for wholesale customers. Wholesale meaning you order a lot. Or over the course of a year, you order a lot. Maybe not order a lot all at one setup, but you've committed and you have a contract set up where you order a certain amount. All right, but we will get into those discussions later. That's the cool thing about being an RF supply company. I can do everything. All right, don't know the type of connections to use. 7/8 hardline to bird meters. So you're going to use a 7/16 DIN connector or an LC connector, either one. You can also use a 7/8 EIA connector. Those are 3 different connectors you can use from 7/8 hardline to go over to a bird meter. That'll take you to a regular bird 43 with a 7/8 line section. If you want to go to a larger line section on bird also makes your 1 5/8 line sections right here. Those are typically used in broadcast, and they are you'll go 7/8 to 1 5/8 EIA adapter, and I have those also. They do not have to if you can't handle it. Just do what you can. I'm going to try to get as much stuff as I possibly can get done. So if you could, it would be helpful. But if you can't, yes. I mean, like I said, whatever you can do to help is helpful. I've got right now. I'm gonna give you a count real quick. I did 1, 2, 3, 4 ends. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 more. 19, was it 19 more or 19 total? I think 19 more connectors to do after this. And that's just half. I'm only halfway done at that point. Yes, I stock everything for 7/8. Anything you'd like in 7/8, I do carry it. So I stock everything really for 1/4 inch hardline all the way up to 1 5/8 hardline. I even have some stock on through some of my distributors of some 3-inch hardline stuff if you wanted stuff, or even 4-inch hardline too. That's going to cost you a lot of money. You're talking about coax that's about $100 and something a foot. Timber, what's up, man? See you later, man. Appreciate you. 73 for now. Alright, I believe I need to do something different. Wife is tired of resetting her washing machine. IMAX 2000 on a 30-foot telestopping pole on the tongue of a mobile home, which 6 foot off the ground. Height is might. The higher you get, the less common mode current you're going to have. You have what's called near field ground interference. When you have a short antenna system, you want to get at least a wavelength up. So that's something you want to get into. So that would help you out a lot with getting into other electronics as far as RF interference. What's the lowest loss connector though? Realistically, all about the same. I would say, I guess lowest loss would probably be your 7/8 EIA, maybe. Maybe even your 1 5/8 EIA. There would be a little bit less loss at higher power with those, but at lower power, the loss is about the same. So you're going to go for power handling there. Your power handling on your 7/8 cable is limited to about 15,000 watts at HF, all the way up to 30 megahertz. So shortwave, whatever you want to do, 80 meter broadcast stuff, doesn't really matter. So your 7/16 DIN is going to be good for about 8,000 average or so. Your maybe you can stretch a little bit more, but about 8,000 average. Your LC connector is going to be good for about 10,000 to 12,000 average or so. And your 7/8 EIA is going to be good for about 15,000 average, the power handling of the cable itself. And then your 1 5/8 is good for larger than the cable itself because it's a much larger connector. But your limit kind of falls back on the cable at the 15,000 average. So if you wanted to run full power capabilities of the 7/8, then you'd want to go to a 7/8 EIA. Attenuation wise, all of them are going to be about the same. What's up, Deuce? Hope you're doing well, man. Out of the mini grass. So we got Hawaii in the house. We had New Zealand in the house. We had the UK in the house. I'll check you out. You deal only to TikTok. Also ship. Yes, I do also ship to the UK. I guess I didn't explain that. I will ship to the UK. I will ship to the EU. I will ship to wherever, anywhere in the world. So unless it's prohibited by my country to ship it, I will ship it. Again, I'm going to repeat it one more time. I have a TikTok shop for TikTok, just so it doesn't get mad at me and think I'm trying to sell outside of its platform. I have a TikTok shop. I sell the digital bird meters, the digital bird meter movements, and the Velocity Factor coax jumpers on the TikTok shop. For anybody else, there's a .com bubble without the bubble that I have. That's the same as my business name. No dash, no apostrophe. So maybe that's a good enough explanation. The meet and greet, I really want to, Deuce, but I can't. I've got to go to Hamcation in Orlando this year. Next year, I will be there for sure. I'm probably only going to go to Hamcation 1 year, just simply because I really like Laupohohoi. It's a very good event, and I want to support it. But I can't. I told everybody I was going to go to Hamcation, and it's the same exact weekend. So next year, not this coming year, but next year for sure. We will be back in Laupohohoi. If you guys get a chance, there's a whole, this is a CB meet and greet over in Laupohohoi, Hawaii. There are very good people over there, and they will give you a great event. So definitely be lookout for the flyer, and you guys will get to hang out for them. Now, keep in mind, there's all sorts of people for all sorts of different walks of life. Some people like their grass, so if you don't like grass, stay away from those particular group of people. If other people like some shine, so if you don't like shine, stay away from that particular group of people. I personally don't do either, so I enjoy the company of the people, but that's not the things that I enjoy. I enjoy really meeting the guys that I've cultivated business relationships with over the years. You poked your finger? It'll get you quick if you don't watch it. That poker is good. Is that heater working good, or you want me to turn it up? Yeah, I'm coughing. No, I'm getting over pneumonia. All right, you guys got questions? You guys feel free to ask. Any of those questions are more than acceptable. The amateur events that I'm going to be at this year are 2 Hamfest. I'll be in Dayton, Ohio, and I'll be in Hamcation in Orlando. I'll be at several CB events this year. I don't think I'm doing any broadcast stuff this year. I may do it next year. We might show you guys some of these events and stuff and let you guys see what it is like at some of these conventions and stuff. I think that's another cool thing about my business. I get to kind of show all different types of communications. There's a lot of like radio competition events I get to go to. You guys get to see, you'll get to see this year that are pretty cool. Merry Christmas right back, Deuce. Hope you have a great one, man. I appreciate you hopping in here and saying hello. It was excellent meeting you, man. I remember that's like I said, I really enjoy La Pohoho. It's a good place. The whole Hawaii in general, I liked Hawaii. It was great. I've seen Kilauea. I think it's Kilauea. Make sure I'm saying it right. It's popping off 3 different spouts and took out camera 3 at the volcano. That was wild. Thank you very much for the heart on TikTok. I do appreciate it. I do not need you guys to give me gifts. It is very, very appreciated. Thank you very much. But if you guys want to do something to give back to me, I don't need monetary value. If anything, I just want your time. So if you like the videos enough, definitely click the like button. And if you feel like I did enough, then either follow me or subscribe, or share the videos with your friends. Those things are super, super helpful for me, and that's what benefits me the most. Getting money from you guys and trying to monetize off of you guys is not my business goal. I don't need you guys to pay me to watch my videos. I think it's kind of a little bit disingenuous, and I think it's just a bit unnecessary. So I appreciate everybody who does. There's no dislike or hate in that sense, but it's absolutely unnecessary. There's no need for you guys to spend any money on me to send me any sort of gifts. Thank you very much. And that's not meant in any sort of hate. I really appreciate the people who feel like they really need to and are going to do it regardless of what I say. Thank you very much. But it's not needed. So this one's being a little bit of pain. So I've got to knock out. I didn't cut this dielectric down very far, so I'm going to cut it back just a smidge more. There we go. Much better, much better. Good evening, John. Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. Hope we have an entertaining video today. I'm doing some RG-400. We talked about some RF theory stuff. We talked about some events coming up this year. Lots of cool stuff, man, for sure. All right, I'm going to have to do something crazy on this one because this is not. Oh, we can forget that altogether. Heck yeah. So I am not above in any situation starting over, and this is super easy for me to do. So what I need to do is I need to pull this off because I don't have the rear part connected, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back my center dielectric just a little bit. Not that I have to, but I'm going to because I want to. So it is not a requirement by any means, but it's just not. So there's a tiny little burr right here. We're going to go ahead and knock it off. on that side, and that side, and that side. Should be fine. Make sure that fits through. There we go. You having some struggles over there? You watching something or struggling? What are you watching?
Huh?
What are you watching?
A movie from the 80s.
Okay, enjoy.
Soundtrack is it, buddy.
Oh, Lord. Enjoy your 80s movie. Or 80s cartoon, that is. Cartoon, that is. Alright, so. Ranger Freedom, a good radio. Is a TR-696 FD1 Ranger Freedom radio a good one? So, the transistors in it are not the best, but everything else about it should be fine for like just something to use up and down the road. That should be no problem at all. There are other units that are better, but it's fine. There's nothing bad about it. All right, nice. That is, I like it when I have problems sometimes because it really kind of shapes how this stuff turns out. You can clean it up. It can look nice. You can always drop back 5 and punt and start over like this. Very, very happy with that. That's cool. Super happy with how that turned out this time. Call it if you need to. Call it if you need to.
My cat's gonna be mad.
Call it if you need to. I'm not going with you. I'll tell you that much.
But I feel bad because you're working.
I think you helped. That's fine. How much?
3.5 done so far.
That is excellent. That is that's 3.5 done. That was not going to be done beforehand, and that saves me time. The more you do, that is one thing that I don't think I charge enough for at the moment. It's kind of tedious and weird to think that I don't charge enough for it, but that is one thing I don't think I charge enough for. All right, questions. What do we want to talk about next, guys? You got any more questions y'all want to talk about? Thank you very much for all the likes on TikTok. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. The more you guys like, the more apparently it suggests my videos to other people. So thank you very much. I appreciate all you guys on Facebook and everything else too. So don't feel like I'm leaving you guys out either. Facebook and YouTube. So I've got a bunch of repetitive work to do. So that's why I'm kind of moving the conversation towards whatever we're talking about next. Because you guys will just see me do a lot of these, I think we said. Let me know if the video is choppy, because I think I just saw that thing chop and jump on the screen. We may try to drop the camera quality down and see if that'll fix it on the next live, if that's the case. All right. So guys, let me know if that camera's jumping in and out or getting choppy at all. Alright, so let's rotate this a little bit. I gotta flip this harness up just there we go. That's much better. So, I suppose I could break away if she's got 3 of those done, and we could go ahead and work on some bird stuff. Would you guys rather see some bird digital meters go together? I can kind of show you how that stuff works. Separate of this coax. I've got to build a bunch more of these anyway, so it's not like it's really a big deal, whatever I build next. So So what would you guys prefer? You guys want to see me build some more coaxes, or you guys want to see some bird meter stuff? Requests are welcome. Your vote has a lot more weight than you think. Because believe it or not, there's only so many people that comment. Even though a bunch of people end up watching these videos, there's only so many people that comment, and your comment may be the one that sways the opinion. Because I personally don't care what I'm working on. I've got to do all the work anyway. So if you guys have requests, then feel free to pop them out. So we can do quick disconnects on the bird meters, or we can continue to work on these RG-400 ends. All right. Hello. What's up, Morgan? What's up, Paul? Hope you guys are doing well. John and whoever else is hanging out. I would like to see who all is actually in here, but it does not tell me specific names on Facebook and stuff. Luckily, I hadn't gotten my warning yet, so I'm doing pretty good. So, hey, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hopping in over here.
Dude.
What?
Look how bad you chewed this one up.
Oh, you still got plenty of braid. That's fine. Yeah, I see it though. You got ate up, but it's all right. For such a short connection, it'll be fine. Let's go a little bit further, just because again. We are scooting through this stuff. We got to get all this stuff done as part of the orders that are made. We've got some bird sample line I'm doing. I've got some velocity factor jumpers that I'm going to be doing. A lot of different things that's going to get done here. What's up, Margaret? Hope you're doing well. Alright, so I'm trying to be one of those attentive folks. What's up, Firefighter Tom? Hope you're doing well. We're working on some RG-400 coax connectors today. I've got, I think, 200 foot of this wire I got to build, and in lots of small jumpers, 10 footers, 12 footers, 13 footers, 15 footers, and so on and so forth. So I think I've got to do, I think I counted up the math, and even on just half of it, I think it was 19 total terminations. I finished, I think, about 5 out of 19, so I've got 15 more to do. I don't know if I'll get that many done today or not. We'll see. Again, I'm happy to swap over to bird meters if you guys would like to see those. Y'all feel free to comment in the I guess in the chat, I guess, whatever the heck you want to call it. Feel free to comment and let me know what you guys would like. If you guys don't tell me nothing, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, though, because I'm somewhat on a roll, so we'll get this stuff done. Alright, so can I zoom? Yeah, I can zoom for TikTok, so I'll zoom, let you guys see what the heck's going on. Let you guys watch that one done. What's up, Big Time out of New York? Hope you're doing well. Now, for some reason on Facebook land, I cannot get this camera to zoom in. I don't know why. But we will Oh, I know what I could do. I could probably force close the program through Task Manager and then try to reopen it that way. And maybe it won't glitch up. Uh-oh, that didn't work well at all. That was... So, typically whenever I'm working on this stuff, I will do my best to let the solder dry before I do any sort of wiping. And I just messed around and let that rag hit the center conductor, and it threw that solder all over the place because it was still wet. CQ Shadow 141 from the Razorback, waving a hand. CQ Shadow, hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, we're working currently on some, like I said, some RG-400 right here. We're doing some terminations on the cable. So we got into a lot of RF theory earlier. We started talking about questions like that, but we lost all of our question askers. So we were now we're working on showing you guys how to solder and get this connection to bond properly and all that stuff. You guys will see how we get it to connect. Pull it into that joint, go on to the next joint, and hold heat on the connection. You know they can hear that, right? We got a disgruntled employee over here. Nothing. I was talking about you.
What?
Your big sigh.
How could you hear me?
Yeah, who could not?
I'm tired.
Lord, man.
These are not my awake hours.
We got
I'm gonna have to get back on coffee if we're gonna do this.
Nope, no coffee. We already eliminated coffee. We're done with that. We're done with drugs. We're no longer doing drugs over here.
I'm still doing drugs.
Yeah, I know, right? All right,
I
so
went to Dunkin' today.
copy that, Baseaholic. So I've got a couple HF events that I'll be going to, like some Ham Fest and stuff. I've got some competitions that I'll be going to this year. And then, of course, I've got some like just regular meet and greet kind of events that I'm going to this year. The total event count, I think, this year is 11, I believe. Maybe 12. I'd have to add them up and see. So they will be all over the country. First one of the year is going to be in the Bahamas. And then next one is Laupahoehoe in Hawaii and Orlando in Florida, of course. After that, it's going to be Arkansas. And let me try to think. After Arkansas is Walterboro, South Carolina. After Walterboro, South Carolina is West Palm Beach in May. And that should kind of give you a decent amount of events. There's North Carolina. It's going to be, I think, in August or July, late July. I don't remember. That's Jonesville, North Carolina. Joliet, Illinois is mid-July, I believe. I don't know if there's going to be another Cleveland, Ohio. I'll have to double check on that one. There's a Philadelphia one-day event. There's a Baltimore, Maryland one-day event. There's a Washington, D.C. one-day event. There is a Portland, Oregon one-day event. There is a San Francisco Bay one-day event. There is a Long Beach, California one-day event. Multi-day, there is another one. I think it's going to be Wichita, Kansas. That's going to be multi-day. Let me look at that message and see what you said. Arkansas is Easter weekend. So it's going to be Easter weekend is when Arkansas is. New Orleans, you're going to be, unfortunately, a little bit disappointed. New Orleans has kind of been replaced by Arkansas. The next event towards your way is going to be Gulfport, Mississippi, and that's in September, usually. Gulfport, Mississippi is the next closest to New Orleans. New Orleans event was good for a lot of years, but some stuff happened, and they just couldn't get their membership up, so they canceled that event. Copy that for sure. I've been at Gulfport for the past 2 years. I'll have to see how this year goes, but I should be at Gulfport again. We'll see how it goes. So you will probably see me there at that one. All right, so are you warm, cold, or perfectly comfortable? Over there, Jessica. Warm, cold, or perfectly comfortable?
I'm fine.
You mind turning it up? Can you handle it if I get you to turn it up?
What?
Can you handle it if I get you to turn it up? Yeah, turn it up, please. You're soaking up all the heat. It is currently 58 degrees over here in this section of my shop, and colder down towards the bottom. I would kind of be curious how cold it would be down there. Kind of a weird sensation to be cold in the down by my legs, but a little bit warm up towards my torso and stuff. All right, so that's frustrating. We're not doing that. I'm not losing strands just because of one little bitty jacket. Sorry. Haven't been to any, just discovering this all recently. Cool. Yeah, I've got several videos out on there. If you look at the top 3 videos on my TikTok, you will see about a couple of the events. You'll see an AC Sky key down. You will see another multi-antenna key down on the second, an interview on the second video. And then on the third video, you will see a short explainer of what they're doing and why they're doing it. Also, if you come to the events, I give away at least a couple hats and a couple shirts at every event, and I also donate to the club. So whenever you do participate in any of the club raffles or anything like that, you can, of course, get in on some of those deals and maybe win something that I've donated. And you're supporting the club at the same time when you're doing it. So. But yeah, in order to win something through me, as far as like merch-wise, shirts and hats, you have to meet me at the event. You have to be present there, and you have to say the slogan. So once you say the slogan, then there's only a limited amount of shirts and hats that I do at every event. And as soon as I'm out, I'm out. That's where I saw the NOLA event. Very cool stuff. Yeah, very cool for sure. It's a very, that's one thing that's cool about things going viral, because it brings attention to something and brings more people into the RF community, and people think it's just cool. So I also think it's cool. I had a random engineer from Maryland.
Well,
that's funny. But I had a random engineer called me up. I don't know how the heck he got my number, but he got my number, called me up after the New Orleans event, and said, "What the heck is this stuff?" So I went through the explanation, talking to him about him, and he's an RF engineer, and he built antennas for a living. And he's like, "That's cool." He said, "I think I'll have to build me one of those." I said, "Do it, man. Come on. It'd be awesome." So whole RF engineer getting interested in it just from something like that. Then a bunch of other random people just don't know what the heck they're looking at. Like, wow, what the heck is this? I thought they were about to take off and get going down the road. So, pretty cool. The events are going to start off in one of the bigger events of the year. I don't know how big it's going to be. It's most likely going to be Arkansas. That's going to be a pretty good one. So I think Arkansas is going to be. I don't know. I have a feeling. I have to talk to a couple more guys and figure out. But I know at least several of the bigger station, like AC Sky, like that video, are going to be there. So that will be the one to see. Gulfport, it's a really good meet and greet. There's a lot of cool people that show up and stuff, but you might not see those big vehicles because there's no payouts in Gulfport. There's payouts at some of these other events. So it's kind of like drag racing. There's definitely some guys that'll do stuff for grudge matches and stuff like that. But then also other guys, they won't get motivated to go anywhere unless there's money involved. So kind of got to keep that in mind too at some of these events. West Palm Beach should be a pretty good one. It's not going to be like any of the big Sky guys, but there'll be should be a lot of DC guys there. That's going to be in Memorial Day weekend is when it should be, I think. All right, we got to clean that up a little bit. So for whatever reason, something's happening right here. It's not really a big deal, but it's enough to irritate me. So stop hurting yourself.
Ow.
Lord, what are you doing over there?
You cut all of them.
You sure you didn't have nothing to do with that? Alright, so let's get this thing bonded. Yeah, it's better. Irritating the fool out of me, though. So this makes no difference whatsoever electrically, but it just irritates me seeing it whenever it does that. So I was able to clean it up a lot. Temperature I'm running iron. I typically run between 600 and 700 degrees, closer to probably 660 a lot of times is what I'll hit. Depends on what source I'm heating up. Sources like this, I'll bump up to 700 or so. So it just depends on what you're soldering, to be honest. 660 is a good number if you want to have pretty good even heat. 700, you'll start eating some tips a little bit. 750, you'll start losing tips quick. So anywhere in the 600 or 700 range, you're doing pretty good on your iron. That's, of course, considering you're using 10 lead combo. If you're using acid core or something else like that, or silver solder, there's going to be different temperature recommendations on that stuff. Apparently this movie's funny to you. Apparently this movie's funny to you.
It's hilarious.
You've been...
Skeleton drinking wine. You can't even taste it, but just has flavor.
All right, let's get on to the next questions. We can talk about event stuff. We can talk about RF theory. Or anything else you guys would like to talk about. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, more done. Oh my goodness. So far, we have finished a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. That's funny. Luckily, we ain't got no young kids in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool.
Ready for these?
I will take them, but I'm going to show you what I want to do next. If you want to see how it goes, let me show you. I'm just going to show you one. Check this out. Wait. Come over here just for a second. I'll borrow you. All right, so I'm going to show them at the same time as I'm going to show them at the same time I'm showing you real quick. A little bit. Nothing crazy. All right, so see this heat shrink right here? I'm going to grab some heat shrink out. Cut some heat shrink back right here. Even if you didn't, I can go to the next size up. It's not the end of the world. I'm being a little aggressive with a smaller heat shrink, really. But it's fine. Worst case scenario, like I said, bump up to the next size heat shrink, and it'll be fine. The next size is right here. Take the next one, chop it right there. And then ideally, what I'll do is I'll chop all this extra off. See how it's not level? Something like that.
So I could cut the stabby part off.
I guess. It probably is not that stabby right now.
What do you think is stabbing me?
And the small little strands that are coming off. Yeah, you can cut it off. It's fine. And then I messed up. Not really messed up, but I just cut all that back. So now I'm going to strip that back just a little bit. There we go. Covers that. Same thing, doing the same thing over here, and then throwing another piece over there. So then I'll grab a little red piece like this. Chop it back.
Oh, it has to be different colors.
No, it don't have to be at all. I'm just grabbing what I got on hand.
You have every color available.
Not really. I got white, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of black. Mostly black. Black's what I got more of anything. And then I just see, just like that. So you got some red right there. And some black. And that's all I do. I gotta, she's going on strike, guys. She's insubordinate. Have to get fired. No.
Go ahead.
Do you ever run a little heat shrink and clear silicone on the coax and back of the barrel for waterproofing? No, typically not. The problem with that is I'll go with a sealed outdoor connector before I'll do that, because the manufacturer is usually a lot better at their sealing method than what an individual would be. You could try to throw some silicone and stuff on there, but there's not a whole lot of benefit. What I'll typically go to is like an end connector, or I'll go to the DIN connector. See how this DIN connector has got an O-ring seal right here.